Hey guys, welcome to session 36 of Materia. And we do have a few people running a little bit late, but that's okay. We're going to pick up where we left off. And last time, the group had, started their recovery process from the encounter that they had a few blocks away from the Adventurers League, where the group had discovered that there was a vermin hag underneath, channeling energies and causing a tear between the material plane or the narrow escape and the ethereal here between. They did manage to, for the time, thwart the efforts of the vermin hag and caused her to plane shift away, seemingly caring about her own preservation, unlike the previous hag that y'all had encountered. Gathering themselves and heading back to the Adventurers League, looking awful, drained, shallow, exhausted. The group did run into a familiar heavyweight. Sure, I'll do it in a moment. Heavy-weighted, large water genasi by the name of Julian, and he was actually coming to the Adventurers League looking for y'all. He got word that you had returned and had synced up with Mumara and basically wanted to check in and thank you guys for, getting back, and also apologize for him having to, leave y'all, but he was on a schedule. He did also give you a means to find contact with him, to say that you have cargo down at the docks for Julian. Other than that, the group did go in and they were taken into basically a rest room where there's, pools and tubs to rest and soak and wash, medicinal oils, steam that's being generated from the next door kitchen, essentially, where some shenanigans did play out, where Roque manipulated the perception and reality of Dregnar, and there was a whole ritual to find Roque's spirit and reconnect it to his body. And, some other things were discussed. But then eventually the group did call it with the shenanigans, with food in their bellies, and head up in essentially midday to go rest, as it was for their best benefit. A long rest was achieved, during which Pebble was summoned back from the realm that Pebble resides, and the group then had plans to head out and meet with Harley, the owner of the Bronze Hook, to see about some coin that Marb was missing. However, Sarah Bella, one of the receptionists of the Adventurers League, was waiting outside the rooms they were sleeping in, and said that Seb Wiggs was ready for another meeting, and brought you up. There you began your meeting in the same war room where you were attacked. Some precautions were taken. Marb did scan the area with his see invisibility, that allows him to peer into the ethereal. Did not see actually any spiders. He saw the caverns and the webbing, but no spiders. Calisor, using Hans, was able to sense some sort of trapdoor, but didn't deal much with it, and walked close to it, but nothing happened. And with the gathering of some fine alcohol, the group continued their investigation and talks about plans, where they are still, amongst, discussions, but the evening grows late, and there is need to investigate the well where the encounter occurred. A few of you have stayed back to continue scrawling, copying the notes, and doing research, and some of you are continuing with the plan to go visit Harley. One thing as well is you were brought over to essentially like an armory vault that is as well on the third floor of the Adventurers League. And while they cannot supply you with too much equipment, and again they reiterated that they cannot supply you with extra men, because it is a policy that, you don't send extra people to go fight the undead in case they were to be risen and used against you. You are given a supply of holy oils, holy waters, powdered silver, and a few magic items that Wiggs happened to have stored in one of his bags of holding that he seemingly forgot that he had these items. So since everyone is not here yet, I don't know if you guys are comfortable disseminating said magic items. I know there was some debate in chat. We can play that out with roleplay once everyone gets here. But essentially, y'all did get a magical rope, a magical staff, a magical pair of boots, and then the various oils, flasks, powdered silver, and so. And we also were given magical papers that, upon a command word, will fold up into an origami bird and fly back to the Adventurers League. So.
I say we wait till everybody's here to determine whom they go to.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I don't know where Jones went, which is kind of odd. He's normally like all up in this area. I'm gonna step away for 2 minutes because Anita asked me to make sure the cats are fed, and then we'll be right back. I apologize. I forgot to feed them before we started.
It's all good.
I'm a terrible DM.
Kitties, meow meow.
Budgie. Get away from the scary shark. Yeah, scary shark. But yeah, when we get back, we'll probably start with Dregnar and Grant heading down to the well.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd kind of forgotten that you guys were just heading down there.
Well, Wiggs said he needed to check it out.
Oh, that's
He
right.
said it didn't want to wait too long. Probably should have gone earlier in the day, but we needed our nap. Probably could have just sent him earlier in the day with other Adventurers League people at the time, but it's too late now.
Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah. It's not, I was kind of dead anyways.
You're telling me I got 28 hit points.
You're still dead, yeah. At least I'm healed now.
And that's after I gained back 5 of my hit points.
Gotta get that mint.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, I'm down like 20 something still too. I'm supposed to have like 70 something total.
I mean, y'all were in the blast wave of the popping, roach.
13 down. Okay, I'm not too bad.
One of your kitties sounds like a mini pterodactyl.
Yeah, that's punchy. Got a little dinosaur crap. I love it. It makes me happy.
I can imagine him swooping around.
Someday he will swoop. It'll be.
I maybe should have paused the recording, but I did.
Nah, it's fun. Come on.
This is good banter.
Yeah. This way people know that we're actually friends, right? We can actually talk.
I hate you all. Get out of here.
You all too. I don't know why I put up with y'all. I don't know why I craft these stories and. Oh, I know. It's my form of therapy.
Cost my dude 25 gold and a full hour to make one tiny ass little vial of holy water. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, 25 gold worth of materials, so you can cough it up in whatever ways you see fit.
Yeah.
It's like there's 5 different ways to make like
spend
tomato sauce, right? So.
And it doesn't even count as a ritual, so it actually costs a slot. Which is extra lame.
Well, yeah, and that's actually rules as written too on holy.
No, yeah, no. It very clearly says it's not a ritual.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, Al, I think I just squashed you.
Al's
That's okay,
dead
I have full
now.
HP.
So.
I might have survived.
All right. I actually, since we have enough people here, and I didn't have actual amounts of holy oil, holy water, and powdered sensors. 3 of you can tell, can roll. Let's say I'll come up. Just roll me d20s, and I'll come up with how much you guys get. I just need 3 rolls for whoever. All right, 18, nice. 13.
I don't want to tell my roll.
Shit.
Someone else roll.
There you go, Grant.
Nice.
All right, 18, 13, 9. Okay.
It's 40 total.
So, since you're the bag of holding guy,
What up?
right, so you actually end up with 7 holy oils. It's a lot.
Holy oils, not holy waters, holy oils.
Yeah, the oils. They're on there. They're the first one, so you can just change the quantity to 7. The holy waters, what was it, 13? You end up with 5 holy waters. And then the powdered silver censers or holy censers, you only end up with 2 of them.
I do not appear to be able to change the quantity
Oh, really?
for green and blue items.
That's irritating. Can you add them?
I could probably add them as yeah, I could do that.
See if you add a couple more, if it just stacks it on top of it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, so 7, 5, and 2.
It doesn't stack them, but at least it's tracked.
Okay,
So
cool.
7 holy oils. How many centuries? Sorry.
2 sensors,
5
and then
holy water.
5
I had-
water.
I had 5 holy waters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holy oils and 2 centuries.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So that, that's what you guys got, and it looks like that's essentially everything that they had in the vault available for what they deem dealing with undead. And Wiggs will, while you guys are kind of still doing the whole war room planning and all that, he will turn to you, Grant, having recognition of your capabilities and your connection with the lawbearer, and he will kind of give you some scrawling, some notes on how to perform the rituals should you find the proper ingredients to make more. So all those are listed on the items as need be. And then as the group kind of starts to split their ways, with Marb, Cal, and Davis heading out to go, well, I'm assuming to go see Harley first, but I know Davis has some interest in running into Julian.
Yep.
Roque and Al will stay behind and continue with Sarah and Hava, either
Nice.
copying the notes or actually, trying to translate them and understand them. And I did, before the session, I did send them what they found so they could better coordinate. We'll go ahead and start with Dregnar and Grant, as once Wiggs has given you the proper, formula and ways to create these holy, weapons, let's call them. He has also heard that Dregnar, you're capable with, brewing potions and flasks and all that, and he will enlighten you and kind of walk you through the process of making powdered silver. Having noticed that you've taken an interest to some of the more alchemical practices, he will tell you that you can actually do it from coin. So if you have enough silver coin, you can break them down. So you will have another ability to make more powdered silver, which is a key component in pretty much all the other things that you use. But from there, yeah, Wiggs will be like, all right, Seb, I guess gentlemen, you gonna take us to the well? Do you think we need to bring anyone else with us, or?
No, we cleared it out, or
Okay.
I think we cleared it all out pretty nicely last time we were there.
All right. And it's what, the one you said, it's a few blocks down, right? It's the one over in the
Well, a
little
few blocks
corner?
from the entrance, yeah.
Okay, I know where we're going. All right.
Did
let's
we
get
have a
going.
rope tied there? Did we leave a rope inside the well or anything? Because we just jumped down before.
Marb tied up a rope with a python. He put in a python and put down the rope.
Yeah, I actually, I don't remember Nico saying that he collected it, but I'm looking at his character sheet and it says he's got a rope and python, so I'm just gonna assume that he went ahead and,
All right, we'll bring some rope, no problem.
yeah. So, you guys head out the Adventurers Hall, as Marb and Calisor and Davis also head out and, kind of, branch. But,
Give you the guy
Dregnar-
heading out
Early
as we go away.
evening now, right?
Hmm?
is this like early evening now?
Yeah, so it's probably around about 9 in the evening, since y'all took most of the day to get a long rest in and recuperate. So you guys head back. The Green Hill is still pretty active in the evening. It's not as bustling as it was during the day, but there still are some, merchant carts being moved. Most of them have just closed up shop and sending their wares to wherever they do for the night. And then others, are heading out to maybe a local tavern or get some food or whatever, people do. I'm sure there's some gambling involved somewhere as well. But the four of you go, and Seb did go ahead and grab a couple individuals as he was leaving that were adorned in brown leathers. Seb introduces them to you as this is a couple members of his grot guard. They haven't actually been down these areas, so he just wants them to get down there and be a little bit familiar. And just a little halfling gentleman, and actually it's funny because it's a two small folk, it's halfling and a gnome, both gentlemen to join you. The grot guard, GR. It's his guard. He mentioned it earlier in passing when the premier was here, the Luxodon, Jonas Nick. They're an organization that he started, and they're basically tasked with patrolling the underbelly of Green Hill and trying to figure out if, where repairs need to be made and stuff like that. So they join you, and they seem to be, equipped like some, soldiers would be. Not necessarily in like heavy armors and everything, but they definitely do carry hand crossbows and blade. And they are accompanying y'all down there. And you guys get to the well. They help tie up, make a rope. Y'all head down, light torches, and y'all are essentially back. Bloop, here. And then
All of us are back, apparently.
Yeah. Boom. And then you guys, for now, I'll just use Verdant Cause tokens because I don't actually have Grot Guard tokens.
We didn't take any time to really explore at the end of the fight last time, did we? Or did we?
You
we
did,
did.
actually.
We went all the way
Hans
everywhere?
did.
Yeah, Hans went everywhere. Most of the group stayed in the center. I know that, like, I remember Grant and Davis, y'all didn't really explore at all because y'all were.
Nope. I was fucking beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I was knocked out and then up, but not really.
Yeah. So you guys come down, torches lit, illuminated. It's the same, rather, it's that weird, like, it should be more wet down here, but it's not. You do see a couple rodents skittering by, some roaches, as they were. You even see where Marb's torch was dropped earlier, and now it's like burnt out completely. And,
Are the rodents looking at us?
I know, they actually just ran out. They ran away from you guys. The moment there was like disturbance, they skittered. You can go ahead, if you want, you can give me an insight check, Grant.
Sure.
Is you insight checking the rats?
Just the general, like,
I'm just kidding.
the area.
The environment.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, rat?
Yeah, with a 16, having been now made familiar and kind of aware that the vermin tide, right, can watch you, these don't seem to be at all interested in you. They just want to get away from the group. That will be so. Which path do we? Which path?
And I would point my torch down towards the southwest one.
Mm-hmm.
The hag was down that direction. We came in.
Okay. All right. A couple of the Grot Guard will start heading there. Wiggs and Seb will start walking as well. And essentially, you'll get to that same corridor. Down here, you can see that, well, no one had traversed down here since y'all had an exchange. And you see now the corpses of the giant rat ogre that eerily still slightly kind of twitches, not in like a means of like it's gonna animate. It just seems like whatever magic had coursed through it is still there. And then you see like the large just like explosion of guts and pus and ooze, and it just splattered against all the walls and like even reaching up to the ceiling, which isn't too high, right? It's maybe about at most 8 feet in here, just of the guts, and it's still like kind of like congealed up top, and it's very slowly just this bile like dripping. And then of course there's just a carnage of hundreds of dead rats and roaches. And at this point it hasn't, being not a full day, and it's not exposed to sunlight, it doesn't necessarily smell any worse, but it is still that dank smell. That atmosphere is still here. But you approach, and the gnome goes, it looks like a dead end, boss. I don't see anything.
I didn't really see the portal stuff, right? Because I was knocked out.
Actually,
Was
yeah.
I back up again already?
You never saw it. So the portal itself was only visible to Al, Roque, and Marb, because they either had detect magic going or see invisibility.
We did
But they
see.
told us that there was a portal.
Yeah, it was like a bleed, like a tear. And Dregnar, you can share. I don't even remember if Grant was up when you came in, but
I don't either, but I'll let them know the general location of where I popped out.
Just kind of draw a. So it was like roughly like right around here. And Wiggs will kind of come through and be like, so I just want to make sure I get this. You came out this way. And he's kind of like looking around and kind of just trying to see if anything catches his eyes.
I'll let him know, yes.
Interesting.
And I motioned towards Wiggs. This is why we need his help. This is arcane, funny stuff. Not what we're the experts at.
Yeah, I get that. Ugh. And I'm more in the realm of alchemy and changing elements, but I do dabble. So let me see. This might take a moment. You can kind of see he just kind of gets down on his knees and just kind of start moving some of the guck away and kind of running his finger around the area. And Seb we'll call it, this is going to take a long time, Wiggs. What are we doing? It's like, I don't know. This will take a while. I don't even know really what to start looking for. I get ethereal. I get that. But yeah, it's like Seb will be like, I'm gonna take my men and we're gonna go check out. And he'll say, come on, Brex. Come on, sir, Sebastian. And these two will be like, the Seb. We'll kind of walk out. And you can see Grant and Dregnar that Wiggs is kind of, digging around and trying to find something. And he takes out a knife and starts kind of rummaging through. And then eventually with, running through, he seems to have found something. And he starts to kind of, with his hands kind of wipe it away and clear it. And there are some, like, how do you put it? Like engravings kind of like roughly like carved in and had to be done with actually some strength, given that this entire place is like solid, masonry work.
Like runes?
This isn't like a cheap kind of sewer system. This actually was something built out of stone.
I'll walk up behind him, hold up my hammer with like light on it to kind of shine so we can see it more clearly.
Okay. And that was Brax and Sebastian. Those are the two names. Yeah, and as you do, you see it too, Grant, and it does look like it was just it. Go ahead and actually, since you're proficient in masonry tools, you can go ahead and give me an investigation check at advantage.
So,
Sweet.
which Dota player is Sebastian? I know which one Brax is.
Hey, Adam, would my stone cutting give me anything as far as the stone and the origin and any special properties or anything?
Maybe not the origin, but you can also give me an investigation check, as it's you see like there's something off about how the symbols were carved. All right, so 16 for Grant.
18.
Okay, yeah. So y'all both see this, and this was done. It's hard to believe, but this was just done with her nails. Like she just clawed out the stone. No knife used, no nothing. You see it, and it just looks like it's just raw strength, just ripping in. And there's like it's these gnarly symbols that, unfortunately, the two of you are not too familiar with the arcane. But having kind of seen maybe some of the things that Al and Roque and Cal were looking through in the scrawlings, they do look oddly kind of sort of similar. And as you kind of point those out, yeah, Grant, Wiggs will be. All right, so I get that this is almost. It's like they're trying to create a weak point, or it's not that they're finding weak points. Is kind of how I get it, and they're marking them. So whatever's happening here, this seems to be a weaker point amongst the veil between us and the ethereal. I don't think that they have the ability to make a portal. I think they have to kind of help it come into being. This seems honestly not something that they are too familiar with. It seems like something they picked up on.
Okay. Can we reopen this portal? Can we chase after them?
I mean, I don't know if we want to reopen it if it's closed, right? I don't. We don't. I mean, so I know that. I know at least from some of my readings that there are entities that can easily traverse back and forth. But I think it was someone said, Dregnar, you forced your way out, and you saw how much damage that did to you. You said, I heard it didn't feel good.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so like those phase spiders that attack Lionel, and apparently again, at the conference, they can do it naturally. It seems to be something they can do. I've heard of creatures such as like blink dogs, they can do that as well. And rumors have it that hags can do it as well. But there might be entities on the other side that can't. And maybe that's what the hags are trying to do, is create gateways. You said you saw spider belly, weird looking humanoids, Dregnar, when you were over there?
Among other things.
Yeah, so maybe they're trying to create a means to bring in reinforcements, allies. I mean,
Can we close this portal or whatever better? Can we lock it up? Can you guys?
I think we need to just get rid of these carvings first, if anything. So we'll make sure to destroy these.
After we take some copies of it, right?
Yes,
to add
yes,
to your research or whatever.
Yeah, and you'll see that he's actually, as you say that, pulls out some parchment and has like a bit of coal and starts doing rubbings of all the symbols. And as he's doing it, he's kind of clearing it out, and you're seeing that there's more. There's like 6 or 7 of these symbols that have been carved.
Yeah, I start helping and like wiping, like using my hands to wipe off the extra dust or whatever and clear off and
more the grime
expose
and
whatever.
Yeah, and then yeah.
I'll ask Wiggs, this particular chamber, is it important to the sewer system, or is it just something that's here And could we possibly seal it up?
Honestly, it just looks like I don't know. I mean, it runs down. Maybe it was in case if there's too much water, because you do see like the way that you came, it does slope down quite significantly, and it does look like it's just like maybe a or what do you call it, like a reservoir or so, to kind of keep it from flooding. There are a few like smaller drainage things that you don't necessarily see on this map, but there are little drainage vent like so they can run off. He says, I think this is just a collection reservoir, honestly, and it hasn't been a particularly rainy season. I'm sure Seb won't object. He's kind of
Well, you said that they're trying to find weak points.
Yeah.
If we cover this one up, at least slow down their ability to access this instead of just walking into it.
Yeah. Well, and give us time to hopefully research and maybe figure out if we can find more of these weak points somehow. I don't know, but yeah, no, this is good. And it'll kind of
Or if we can't seal it up, lock it up, put a guard here, do something to make it just more difficult. Because if you want to study it, we probably don't want to cover it up completely. That way you have access to it, but we need to secure it somehow.
We might be able to make like a grot posting here. Maybe Seb will have a rotation. We can get some of the more intellectual adventurers to help. Maybe I can as well. I think that's our best bet. At least have guards here. But
does the league have the money to fund like a standing guard to, that kind of stuff? Is that normal?
Do you know? Go ahead and roll me a history check. Yeah, just regular history check. Oh. You know, Grant, that the league is pretty much it's one of the larger organizations, not only on the continent of Rune, but across Materia. They're very well connected, and adventuring makes a lot of money. You do know that the Green Hill Adventurers League is particularly special just based off where it's located, and it does have a lot of adventurer traffic. So you guess that maybe it's better off than most. It certainly doesn't like being at the Adventurers League. It doesn't seem like it's over the top lavish. I mean, it's a very nice building, but it's not like things were gold plated or you saw like a platinum Bergiers or a diamond and jewel encrusted whatever. It's nice. It's well kept. It's managed. And you did in the one meeting, I'll just go ahead and give this. You did hear that, in the first war room meeting that Seb was summoned to Whitlaw, which is the major metropolis of Green Hill, essentially the capital. And the Sovereign of Exchange, who you understand, having, lived a large portion of your life in this area, is essentially like the ruler of Whitlaw, was trying to get him to relocate to Whitlaw. And then that's when he took his opportunity to make the visit to do the secondhand job of gathering people to join his grot guard. And you gather that he's funding it, but you also gather that Jonas Nick is providing some funds as well as the premier of Green Hill. So it's a little bit more than you'd expect, but yeah. Wiggs will say it's probably the best we can do is just we'll talk to Seb. I mean, I don't see why we can't station people down here. I mean, there's plenty of tunnels for his guard to map and navigate and try to figure out, and maybe they'll find something else that we've missed.
Right. Now that we know what to look for, maybe they'll find other spots.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, anything else you guys want to do in here before you go to the destroying of the glyphs or the scratches?
I just want to ask Dregnar, figure out how to word it. Just that when you saw your vision, Was it in this chamber? Was it down here in the wells, or was it upstairs in the city somewhere?
You talking about my brother?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember.
You
Uh,
were
Adam is north, like north on the map.
north of the map, yeah, okay. Like here, north, yeah.
No, but yeah, but what I'm saying is the map itself a true representation of north, south, east, west.
Sure. Let's say yes, it is.
Okay, so I came from the northeast towards the portal that was here. So I saw the vision here, or heard the vision here as well, but I traveled from the northeast to get here.
So with that, you gather and that Dregnar, you would put together that, since it kind of mirrors and echoes like the material plane, you essentially ran your way from the Adventurers League Hall, which happens to be a giant spider cavern, essentially, down and out through essentially like an open barren field. Here, where you saw like this huge recess, you went down the recess, and then in here there just happened to be a means for you to come out when you traveled down. You heard your brother while you were still essentially at the Adventurers League. You heard this echoing, booming roar that you recognized, and you just had to follow. Unfortunately, you never got to see your brother. You just heard
Okay.
his presence. So, but he's the one that definitely, in a sense, guided you here.
I will relay that to the group.
And Wiggs will be your brother? What?
Complicated.
Yeah, no, I get it. Trust me. Years of an adventure. I know. All right. So I have my scratchings or my presses. I think he's gonna kind of look around, and you'll see his eyes kind of focus on the wall immediately, below you, essentially, Grant. And you'll see that there's a couple symbols there as well, and he'll kind of run over there, get some more parchment, and start,
Yeah.
getting
Move
it.
out of the way. Let
Yeah.
him do this thing.
And he's just like, yeah, we'll talk to Seb. We'll go ahead and get a watch established down here.
I guess I'll Grant would start helping. It's like if you have any more of that paper or whatever and charcoal,
Yeah, he easy enough. Most of y'all have done this. It's you kind of find one, and it almost, as you start doing it, you start getting an eye for it. You realize that in this area where there was like maybe about the 6 or 7 on the floor, and then you realize there's like the 3 on the wall, and then you go to another wall and another wall. You realize that there's almost like it has to it's encompassed by these glyphs. So at the end of it, you Wiggs, and if Dragnar's assisting, you'll probably gather a collection of 20 or so charcoal rubbings. Some of the symbols repeat. They're all good, but some of them are unique. But yeah, and then Wiggs will smile and say, well, you want to get with that hammer and I guess destroy these before they get used again?
Okay. Yeah, get out my hammer to start chipping away at the walls, mashing away the symbols.
Yeah, you're smart enough not to do too much damage, right? You just kind of.
I want to bring down the entire room on our heads.
Yeah.
That is the plan.
You're done with it all, right? And you're like, it's been a terrible 70 some years. I'm just done. But with that, this whole exchange and this whole investigation takes a good hour or so, and Seb and Sebastian and Brax have been walking through, and then they do eventually, you hear footsteps come up to y'all, and Seb calls out, boys, doesn't seem there's much of it below. And he's kind of just seeing you just going to town on the wall. And look, and Wiggs is like, they're destroying some symbols. We're gonna need to set up a watch. I'll fill you in when we get back to the league. And then, unless there's anything else you guys want to do, we can go ahead and shift. Anything you guys want to look for or talk to?
No, not at the moment.
Alrighty.
I'm good.
Alright, so yeah, Grant, if you would be so kind, just create a random item for yourself and just say, charcoal rubbings,
Sure.
and go ahead, and then we'll go ahead and jump to Al and Roque. As during this time, throughout the evening, you guys have been studying the parchments, the notes that you guys had collected from the Swamp Hag's hut, the false oracle. And with that 38 investigation that you guys rolled, you guys have made some discoveries and have uncovered some more clues. So you guys can go ahead and do as you please.
So the information you sent us, we have that now.
Yes, this is what you guys have figured out.
I just need to pull that up. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Man, Al, you ever notice that we seem to get stuck with all the bookwork?
Yeah, if I hang out with bureaucrats, so I'm kind of used to it, but it's never really that fun.
I don't know. Marb and them get to go stab, and the other groups are probably going to get murdered in the sewers. Here we are reading books.
Yeah. I mean, how am I supposed to get better at stabbing if I don't go practice?
Right? Like, I haven't successfully bonked anybody.
It's been a while. Thanks for your help, though. I completely forgot you had comprehend language.
Yeah, I got so many spells I want to learn, but this seems important. I mean, we're gonna go to the tower. I want to live.
Absolutely.
What do we have here? So we know the hags. There's 9 of them, and they're working in threes. We've killed one, which means there's probably 3 in town with the one that we saw.
Right. Encounter in the well.
Why are hags working? We need to find out why they're like hags don't work together. It's very weird that hags would like. I don't get it. I don't like. I guess I get it. They want to get their mother back, but I mean, this is big time.
Yeah. For them to actually work together, this is something big, I think.
Very big. This is. I don't know. And then these mills, which I think we need to go to the mills. So if I'm reading this correctly, they're using the mills to work with the energy from the tower, and they've identified them with. So they're identified. There's got to be a way that they're identified. So we should be able to figure that out if we go to some of them.
Yeah.
And then there's this one line here has been bugging me that we've translated. The siphoned energies are chaotic and wild in nature. What do you think that means?
That is a weird line.
Like,
Say,
wild in nature. Who do we know that's good with nature? Ooh, Calisor. We need Calisor.
ooh. You can ask him about wild energies.
Yeah. Like, is that there's wild sorcerers, right? Maybe. I don't know what the hags are count as. And then the line right below it is those blind to the truth are used at the mills. Those blind to the truth are used at the mills.
Oof.
So not
'Cause I
actually blind.
I thought it was just the energy, but because it makes it sound like physical workers. Is it literally the people who work there, or?
So the people that work there don't know what they're doing. Is that what it's saying?
Okay, yeah, like they're inadvertently
Right, so
helping the hag's cause.
burn down all the mills like we like to do, and we maybe shouldn't kill all the people because they might not know. Was that?
That's okay. We should probably get the people out first, but I do like the idea of I wouldn't mind just burning them all down.
That's unless we're gonna starve the town. We don't want to starve the town. I don't know what else they use the mills for, but we definitely shouldn't burn them all and starve everyone.
Yeah.
So I will say, while you guys are having the discussion going back and forth, Al, being that this is easier for you to follow and read, and you've had more time with it, and Roque has been playing a little bit of catch up and getting some ideas bounced off you, you did kind of curiously jump towards the last few sections of the notes that you had uncovered. And in there, you see that where the document had kept kind of like a semblance of structure and formulaic, equations and things that made sense. And while it was still weird seeing Infernal and like Druidic kind of being meshed together, the last few entries had basically devolved into sporadic chicken scratch, very difficult to follow, just ranting, babbling. And then you kind of follow that thread and kind of dig deeper and follow it. And you do make that discovery that the swamp hag that you guys had encountered had lost her other two sisters. And you can go from there.
And is that, I just kind of get that from the chicken scratch at the end?
Yeah, it is trying to follow it is maddening. Trying to follow what is being said, it really doesn't make sense. There is rage and animosity mixed with sorrow and loneliness and grieving, denial, all those, emotions. And again, with your previous, discussion with Roque, it's rare enough to get hags to work together. They normally don't like working together, from what you gather. They work together because it strengthens them and it serves a purpose. So it's odd to see that there was maddening pain in this. Isolation.
I'll definitely bring that up with Roque. So I've read these last few lines a couple times, and I had to give up and go back to the stuff that did make sense. I just picked up a little bit. This was written by the False Oracle, and she sounds... These words, these aren't even complete sentences anymore. It sounds like she's grieving about lost sisters. She may have been the last one in the swamp. But this descent into, can you decipher this at all?
The last bit, it's hard to read. It's very hard to read. I think because you know the language better, maybe you're getting more out of it. But you said her sisters are dead, so she was alone.
I think so.
Okay, and then wait. So who killed her sisters, and why? Why would she be? She was not of good mind. Or was she? She was really weird. And did the scriptlings look like she's got it all together?
The first part does, but this last bit, no, not at all.
Okay, so something killed her sisters, which made her go. But why would she go crazy? Hags like being alone. This doesn't make sense. And what killed two swamp hags? But there's something else out there. I think. Maybe they just got. Do swamp hags get old and die? I don't. That doesn't make sense.
Especially with the necromantic energy, I feel like their goal is to live forever anyway, or something like that.
So the swamp is unprotected by hags, if this is correct.
Right.
So no hags. So we need to go to the swamp, right away, because there's no hags. But we don't know how to get there, and we don't know what we're going to find when we get there.
Right.
It's frustrating. And why did she go crazy? Hags like being alone. Why is she...
I can't imagine emotional attachment from something that looks like that, to be honest.
Maybe the energies of the tower and what they're doing, could that just be They're just so close to the point of influence?
That's not a bad call with the chaos and the chaotic energies.
Al and Rock, you guys can give me a choice. Actually, Rock, give me an Arcana check. Al, give me a Insight check.
20 total.
Okay. Kind of a combo effort from you two, again. Shit, where? Roll 20. Where'd you go? Do you want to lucky it, or are you good?
I'll look at this one.
Go.
Oh, also, we did sleep yesterday, correct?
Huh? Y'all slept during the day, so you
Does that
technically have importance.
That was a
Yeah.
long rest, so I should have reported.
Yeah.
Okay, I never did. I forgot to. I rolled oh my god, I rolled a 17 and a 20.
Okay, nice.
Oh.
So you have those for later.
So that 20, if we're using it like an attack, does it still count as a natural 20?
Yes.
It's a dice roll.
Oh,
That hasn't happened yet, so okay.
Yeah. So if you want someone to just crit, you can let them just crit. Okay, so with 20, 30 total. Okay, so 30 total between the two of you. So again, the set of notes that y'all took, right? It's significant. Like it's pretty long. Like it's not just like 1 or 2 pages. It is years and years, if not decades, of notes and planning and ideas. So the section where the hag essentially descended into madness is very small in comparison. Well, you guys are correct, where usually hags do not want to work together, as we discussed. They do it for power and they do it for reasons. With your understanding of that, and with the work speaking it out together, perhaps they were just together for long enough where they became kind of not necessarily where they liked each other, but they just became accustomed to each other's presence. And then having that taken away, and Rock, something about the wild and chaotic energies, maybe that exposure, maybe quickened the madness.
Okay. So, stop me if you think I'm wrong here, Al. But I think what we need to do is go to the tower, stop the tower. That's got to be first. But we've got to get in and out quick. And I don't know how we're going to get there through hordes and hordes of undead, because Pebble can't tell me about hills. But that's okay. We're going to make it to the tower. Just reading Discord. We're going to make it to the tower. We're going to get in the tower. We're going to shut everything down. We're going to get out of the swamp. We're going to come back, deal with the mills. We're going to have the townsfolk figure out which mills we need to deal with while we're gone. I don't know. Wiggs can assign somebody. They got to give somebody for that. Have to help us out somehow. Otherwise, why are we doing for them if they don't want to help us? And then we deal with the hags in town. And with all of that done, then hopefully the ogres and the giants and the craziness over on the east, maybe we don't even have to deal with that. Or if we do, I think Davis would love to fight an ogre. And Marb is going to stab a giant or two.
Okay, so that's I like that as an extracurricular activity we can do towards the end. I like the plan a lot. I'm a little nervous about the tower. It's definitely some kind of, I guess, nexus to this whole plan they have, but if it's unprotected, we don't know how to find it entirely. Did Pebble have a little bit of information as to where did Pebble ever find it?
Pebble can lead us there. Pebble, I don't have a way to communicate whether or not we have safe places all the way there. All I know is Pebble did find the tower and should be able to lead us there. Also, I just realized, and I quickly look around the room, do I see any rats? And I tell Pebble, if there's any flies, bugs, anything, eat them. Adam?
Adam, you're muted, I think.
Nope, Adam, I cannot hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, as you're like looking around, you don't see any rats or any like what you would consider vermin. So no bugs, no flies, nothing like that. Seb said that they have been kind of keeping the place clean and sweeping it. You do happen to shift one of the pages around as it kind of gets your attention, and Pebble, listening to you, does like a loop and then flies to the page and then kind of does her little peck, kind of a couple times, trying to get your attention to it.
The pages that we were reading, the scrawlings?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. Pebble's trying to tell me something.
Hmm.
I think Timmy fell in a well.
Oh
So,
no, you gotta go get Grant out.
Wait, so can they hear us through crap. They might know our plan.
No.
Nope.
So, do you reach for the parchment? What are you doing?
Yeah, I will look at it and I will inspect it. And
Okay.
I'll hold it kind of like I'll hold it and look at it and I'll be like, Pebble, like what?
You'll see that it's actually one of the more simple pages, one that you kind of overlooked just because it didn't really have much to it. It's a drawing of a plant, and it's kind of a process as you're reading to it of drying it and then burning it to mask your movements from the lesser undeads.
Do I recognize the plant?
Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Please be
Very low DC.
Please be plants. 10 plus.
You just need a 10. It's the man-eater plants that you guys are avoiding in the swamps.
Yes, we have a lot of that.
Mm.
We have a plan. I can get us to the tower. Pebble, you're the best. I give Pebble. I pull out some like rations and I give Pebble some crackers to munch on.
She knows. She's very happy.
She doesn't eat. Someday I'm gonna find out whether she actually enjoys this or not.
She seems very happy.
Okay, I can get us there. I think safely. We need this page. I'm going to specifically stash that page safely in my spellbook.
Sounds good. All right.
Okay.
If you want to, you can write, dried man-eater page or something like that. If you want to just remember that you have it.
Yeah, I will add it. Okay, I think Al, we have a plan. We the other thing, and I don't know what the rest want to just go. They just they're like, let's go to the tower right now. Davis is hurting, and I've got some spells I'd like to learn, and I don't know what your opinion is, but man, a day or two in town, let's get some equipment, let's prepare. How do you feel about that?
I think that's a good idea. We need to be fast, but we don't know what to expect, so I think we need to over-prepare and then just haul ass into the swamp.
I agree, 100%. Otherwise, we run in weak. They might even know, the room seems safe, but who knows? They might know that what we're doing. It's better to be fully ready than run in half-assed and just not even make it.
Yeah. Especially after the last ambush, I'm iffy about a lot of this. How much information they know.
Is there anything else we can learn off these pages right now, or are we? The scrolling craziness.
The only other, it's everything that I sent you guys before the session. I'll say, just because I know it's a lot for you guys to remember, other things that you do see that were not aware to you guys before was that you do get confirmation that the hills were created by the banishment of the Hag Mother. And you see a potential connection to the using the manipulation of the giants or the giant kin to the east, as there's notes and references that they are able to sense basically an ore that was created in this process that's very difficult to find, and the ore is only really found in a few of those hills, and it's supposed to have well, been created through the magical means, so it's likely very potent or has a very high potential for some sort of interactions with magic. And you do get that, that the hill giants have this natural affinity to just almost like sniff out the ores, much like, beagles and pigs are used for truffles. So you find that connection. And then the other thing that your 38 gave you guys in total, the hags that are the ones that provide the eyes throughout the city, the ones that are within the city, they are also the ones that are coercing and making it so that the phase spiders are essentially coming into this reality rather than staying on their side. They're essentially luring them here and using them. Other than that, I think you guys kind of covered everything.
Okay. I will. Who's in the room with us still?
It's Sarah, Hava, and you two.
Okay. I'm just gonna be like, okay, we've got it. We need to find the others. We need another quick meeting with everybody just to. We know what we're doing, and I'm gonna just run out of the room and try and find the others.
All right. This process has taken a number of hours, right? Going through it, studying it. Grant, Wiggs, and Dregnar and Seb have not returned yet. And then, Davis and Marb and Calisor have not returned yet from their, little adventure. So from here, if you guys are comfortable, unless you guys have any other questions, we'll go ahead and jump to Davis, Marb, and Cal and Hans as they're leaving the Adventurers League with Grant, Dregnar, Seb, and Wiggs as they go to the wells.
Hold up one thing. These three are going to join the Thieves Guild, aren't they? They're going to run off and have their own adventure without us. It's going to be really sad.
I mean, it's been nice knowing you guys, but separate campaign now.
I get to run campaigns side by side.
It was good while it lasted. The last thing I would do is I'm assuming I've been with the scrawlings for so long that I've memorized a good amount of it. So I'm gonna leave it with Hava and Sarah, tell them to protect it, make sure somebody has it on them at all times, and then follow Roque.
As you do that, Hava will be like, no, we're making copies. It's okay. You guys should take a copy with you so that you can study it. I mean, it's gonna take you days, if not weeks, to just get back to Deeproot.
Oh crap! You do have a full set already. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they've literally just been. It's not nearly like as efficient as it would have been, if Jade was with you guys the entire time. But they've been essentially just taking the pages and doing their best to copy. It's not one-for-one exact copies, but it's fairly good. So they say, no, you guys we'll make sure you guys have something to look over, and yeah.
All right. I'll keep the original then.
Yeah, you study it there. Maybe we'll find some things.
Yeah. Thank you for all your help on this, and I'm gonna just keep stashing stuff so Roque doesn't get too far away.
Gotcha. I guess as a point of note, I don't know where y'all put the scrawlings of invocation. It's the only other things that I don't know.
I believe
Are they in
Al's
the
got
bag of
them,
holding?
I think I have them on my person.
Okay.
There was a plan to use them, but I needed to reach out
If
to the group again.
I was gonna say, if they are on your person now, like that's why because I couldn't.
Yeah, they're not in your inventory though.
Maybe just need to be added. They might be just floating in empty space. You can go ahead and add it. I will say that.
Oh no, they're in the bag.
Oh, they're in the back. Okay, then never mind. But yeah, that's the only other thing. I would say with enough time and enough prep, that's one of the things that might come to mind is you did find those other scrawlings. There might be stuff on there as well.
Gotcha.
You're not a dummy.
Oh.
Okay, so we will go ahead and now Davis, Marb, and Al. All right, and Cal, y'all are leaving the Adventurers League. to go stabby, interrogate, and whatever else you feel is appropriate.
Yeah, I'd say first we head over to the Bronze Hook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, let's go see a man about getting our cash back.
Can I go around the back and see if they have any sort of like back entrance?
Do you want us to run
Staff.
interference while you do that?
Like go sneakily around the back?
I mean, of course you can, Marb. Are you, to Davis's point, or do you want Davis and Cal to do anything, or are you just branching off? Are you telling them anything? What do you?
I want to scout first.
Okay. We'll
And
hang
maybe
back.
come up with a plan if, like, yeah, maybe we can do like someone distracts in the front and we go into the back. I'm assuming I want to know like how many people are around.
Okay. So the point of order, you had completed a long rest. Did you wish to switch your favorite terrain to urban, or are you keeping swamp?
Yes, let's change it to urban.
Okay.
I'll try to sneak in another long rest before
Yeah, that's fine.
swamp times.
Yeah, so just remember, Marb, anytime you finish a long rest on a terrain, you can switch to it. So, your favorite. So, on urban, you get all your perks as your favorite terrain. So, if you're gonna go ahead and sneak around, trying to not be really noticed as Davis and Calisor, or maybe waiting outside the Bronze Hook. I don't know what you two decide to do. Marb,
Whatever
go
is
ahead.
at least most inconspicuous.
Yeah. As you guys kind of are approaching the Bronze Hook, you do see it's a normal, lively night. It's not crazy, but it is busy, and that actually gives me a chance to sneak in what day it is. So a little bit of world building and planning, as it took me a long time to figure out when this campaign started. I do apologize. I do want the calendar to be a living thing and something of some importance, not like crazy note keeping and but something for fun. So at the end of today, it will mark your 45th day for most of you being together. It is Monday the 9th of the month of Wildscar of the year 268 PBT, which stands for Post Black Treaty. Which Post Black Treaty, again, world building lore, it's essentially the treaty that ended as kind of like the World War that was on this planet. Just a little bit of fun. Your adventure, the first day of your adventure, when you guys met outside of Volpine to the Pathmaker's Rest to the east, it was the 30th of Schema, 268. And that is, Schema is the 6th month of an 11-month year. The first date of reference, according to this, was 13 days before that, which was the birth of that mutant calf. So, a little bit of notes for you guys if you care for it. And if you guys ever do want to see the calendar for reference, just let me know. It is one of the pages in Roll20, and I can always jump there and I can flip through it. But essentially, you are in the month known as Wildscar, named after the Wilden, and you are on Monday the 9th.
So what month was between Schema and Wildscar?
I'll show you guys.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Real quick, and then we'll get to y'all's little adventure. So, all right, so this is the first month. On the bottom, you'll see that that's the calendar, and these are essentially living tokens. I don't think it's shared with everyone, so y'all can't flip through it, but I can slide it. So I can go to choose a side. The month between, and I'll eventually will memorize this, was Pathran. And you guys will see that each month is 33 days. There's no variance. There's 11 months of 33 days, making the calendar year 363 days. Very similar to what we have. I'm not going to come up with some crazy days. It's going to be a 7-day a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's a 24-hour system, just giving it a little bit of a unique calendar, which is based off of the Pantheon. I felt was fitting for this world. So.
Cool. Very nice.
If you guys have any questions or want to reference
And
like
there's
the tracker or anything, just let me know.
2 moons, it looks like.
There are 2 moons. You guys know that there is Luna and Loon. Luna is the close moon. It is the bright moon. It is the moon that is on a 33-day pattern. It circles, is there. Its brother moon called Loon is known as the wild moon, the crazy moon, the distant one. And it circles every 121 days, so makes 3 rotations in a year. So there you go. I hope it gives you some point of reference as to what's going on. So I will go ahead and up here on the first one, I will go ahead and change it to the current month, should we ever need to go. And the other one will be our opportunity to jump around. So you guys are here Monday the 9th. Last night there happened to be a shooting star. So.
I've been waiting forever for that, and I missed
What's
it.
that? Is
Damn.
that Quill on the 7th
Or
a thing, or is
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I don't know why I put the quill there. I really don't.
When's the next shooting star?
The 13th, according to the calendar.
Sick.
So.
Well, I got 4 days to get to the Necromancer's Tower, boys.
But yes. So Marb, jumping back to the Bronze Hook, it is a Monday night, so the sense of a weekend work week doesn't necessarily exist here in Green Hill, as it is very much a fisherman's town, a river town. It is a town where different businesses are open at all times, and that a large portion of the economy and things that come through here are either done via the adventurers or products that are produced and fabricated and either ground or whatever at the mills. So there's some markets that tend to stay open pretty late. There's a number of apothecaries, a number of alchemists, a number of fishermen and stuff like that. But you can pretty much find any industry. So the Bronze Hook is a tavern. You've been there multiple times. It's not crazy busy. It's a Monday night, but it still has patrons. There are some seats available, but there are definitely some full tables. So, as you approach, the torch lights are lit. The hearth is blaring inside. You hear, the sounds of basic music. A lot of people chattering. What would Marb, go ahead and give me that stealth check as you try to, I guess you said, go around and make surveillance.
He's casing the joint.
Yeah, I'll tell Davis and Cal, like, hey, I'm gonna look around the back and see if Harvey's even here, and then we'll go fuck some shit up. All good?
We just look at each other like, classic Marb.
Maybe we can go see how many people are in the front. Maybe guards, I don't know, like any sort of drunk adventurers that we can use as a distraction. And set up some shenanigans.
All right, so as you guys are approaching, Cal, Davis, and Marb, go ahead and give me perception checks just to see what you guys see on the exterior and maybe peering through the window a little bit and stuff. Marb, you get your pick.
Okay, that one's stealth. I'll give you a perception.
Gotcha.
Bwomp, bwomp.
It's been a long
Good
day.
start. Good start.
I mean, I rolled well.
Cal, it's just, you're still not used to city life, basically.
So much stuff.
There's just so much noise and so much shenanigans going on that you're just not happy. Okay, so Davis, so Marb, you see essentially, it's a lively place. There are not very many people sitting outside on the little covered patio that they have, where actually the first time y'all were at the Bronze Hook, y'all sat. You see, let's call it 30 plus people from what you can gather, just like as you're kind of starting to walk around the side, and then you kind of go into stealth mode and you head around. And Davis, what you see is essentially much of the same. 30, 40 people, eating, drinking, then staff running by. The saloon style doors are actually just kept open with like some wood stakes kind of propping them. There's a small 3 people sitting out on the patio while everyone else is on the inside, and you hear the sounds of the bard must be playing that evening, or some sort of entertainment's going on. You hear the chiming of glasses, people eating. Nothing catches you out of the ordinary. There's a single individual that a larger folk, from this distance, kind of hard to tell, possibly a Goliath, just based off his 7-foot-ish stature. Looks to be made of muscle and seems to be standing at the door. Perhaps it's some bodyguard, the bouncer or so, but doesn't seem to be really paying y'all much attention.
Can we see if Harvey's there?
Marb. So as you were kind of walking by and kind of peering through, and he didn't catch your eye, and then you kind of continued going through around the back or on the side. So I guess I'll go with Davis and Cal first, since they're in the front. Cal, you're just, I don't know, the city is too much right now.
Yeah, I'll just keep an eye out for anybody who looks official who might stop Marb from doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, as you see, your friend kind of duck down and go around, there doesn't seem to have anyone really noticed him.
Okay.
And he kind of just vanishes off to the side of the building. All right, Marb, as you feel comfortable that no one is aware of your presence short of your 2 friends, what are you doing? What are you looking for?
For Harvey around the bag, and if he's not there, actually no, just for him. Yeah, if he's around the back, if I could catch him. Harley or
Harley, like Harley Davidson.
I thought it was Harvey. Harley, yeah, if he's there or not. In the back, if I didn't see him approaching the building.
Okay. So as you make your way around the back, being cautious, you do hear the sounds of like a bottle being thrown and shattering in the alley at some distance in front of you. Not in your direction. You just hear this, the and you hear just kind of like a couple individuals getting into some sort of heated discussion. No, that ain't right. That's what I said. Not what you said. That's not right. And as do you approach? Do you kind of stay to the side? Do you just listen? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll go even a little bit slower and see if I can get as close as possible to hear more of what they're saying.
All right.
Like peek around the corner if I can.
No, I said that the guy was... Listen, boss said this. What did boss say? Shit, I forgot. Well, that's what it was. Boss said that when the guy comes back to have his bags ready, I don't know why. Apparently, it's some sort of test. I don't know. But what do we get? We don't get no cut. The crew took the bags. The guy didn't know it. I don't know what boss sees in this guy. I don't know either. He said when the guy is here, just make sure the bags are ready.
I guess what can I roll another perception to see like who they are, like what kind of like how much of them can I see other than?
Yeah, so you want to kind of continue forward, and see what you can actually see. Yeah, go ahead. Give me another perception check.
Ooh, okay.
At this point, is Marb out of our view? I would
Oh
assume?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Just making sure.
Yeah, and he's probably been gone for a good few minutes. And you
Bananas.
actually, Davis. Let's see. No, Davis, you're Calisor, your passive perception's high enough. You would have actually, at one point, Calisor, heard the smashing of the bottle from, like, kind of the direction where Marb was going.
Okay, I'll just be like, hey, Davis, someone smashed a bottle back there where Marb just headed, just so you know.
Huh.
You wanna think we should just stay here?
I think we stay here for now. I mean, could just be people being rowdy, you know?
Yeah, Marb can take care of himself.
Yeah.
So
He knows he needs to run if he needs to run, but we'll give him some time, and then I'll just keep watching for anybody, especially with the smashing of a thing now, just to make sure there's nobody like running to check out what's going on.
Yeah, as you kind of do that, you see that the large bouncer individual hasn't really moved. He's just stayed there with his back up against the frame, arms crossed, just kind of looking inside, looking outside.
Yeah, I'm also thinking to myself as I look at him like, oh, you think you're strong? Uh-huh.
Marb, as you kind of follow the sound and kind of continue walking and you want to kind of get a better eye, unfortunately, as you kind of peek out, their backs are kind of turned towards you. You kind of make it to the corner of the establishment, and then there's a perpendicular alley that runs, and they're in there, just these two. You can't necessarily tell their race. They're portly, large fellas, in very basic, like cotton clothing, kind of dirty clothing, and they just seem to be having like a discussion or an argument amongst themselves. And you do see that they're kind of swaying a little bit, and you do see the broken bottle at the ground, a little bit of a distance away from one of them.
Ooh, perfect. That's enough. Then I try to like stay sneakily and head back around the front.
Sure.
And sit with Davis and Calisor and just try to whisper like, great news, guys. Like 2 drunk bozos on the back. We can rolling pretty quick, stabby stab, neck, blood, Colombian necktie, easy peasy. And then we can go through the back and look for Harley, and maybe if we can do it as quietly as possible, we can get some questions answered. How does that sound? Everything
so
looking here.
Bad guys? What?
No, just they seem to be like drunk people. They were talking about boss having some backs ready. Which
Wait, ready for who? If they're waiting for someone, then
I know. I gave that stupid Harley the glass sphere to call Golden Horn, Longhorn.
It was the metal sphere. You didn't give it to him. You showed it to him.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Guy?
And it was
Dragonborn guy.
Dragonborn, yes.
But he was supposed to meet me here tonight, but I'm guessing he might be coming. I just want to have some fun and see what they're talking about, information they might know, and get my money back. Hopefully we can still meet Dragonborn guy.
I mean,
but
I'm
so
all
you can do
about
the fun part first, and I like cackle like Baka.
Do you want to interrogate the people back there, or do you just want to stab them?
Yeah, I mean, we only need one. The other one.
I mean, Marb, I'm all about, stabbing people or hitting people in my case, but they gotta deserve it first. I don't know
We'll
these
give
guys.
them a chance. I mean, there's Kitchy hanging out in the back. We'll give them a chance, like we did
The Black Purse guys?
Yeah, exactly. We got to beat them up a little bit. We'll tie them up.
Well, I mean, they shot me first. I don't know if you remember, Marb, but they shot me. That's what started that.
Yeah, but
they deserved the beating that they got.
yeah, they got a pummeling. You kind of felt bad for them. But yeah, this is Bacali stuff.
I mean, I'm fine with. If you guys want to just go in fast and furious and do your thing, I can stay out here and watch, but I'm not about to just go in and murder some people, man.
No. We're just going to rough them up. They're going to be 100% alive 80% of the time. If they get out of line, I can't
I'm
be
not good with
responsible.
numbers.
If someone's jumping at you with a knife, I'm gonna cut them. But
You know what? I feel
if
like
they
I bet.
don't, they could go out with their lives and turn into a
Honestly,
chance to learn.
at this point, and I'm not saying this out loud, so out of character, it's like I kind of think I need to go chaperone this, so I'm just gonna go anyway.
Okay. So, are you guys walking in? Are you guys following Marb?
Yeah, we'll
around?
follow you, Marb.
Yeah. We'll sneak
Mhm.
around. I'll sneak around back, and when we get to like,
I mean, I'm not that
Close.
inconspicuous.
Yeah, and I gotta ask, did y'all bring the full equipment?
Oh yeah, I'm fully loaded.
Okay,
I mean, with my frail state right now, I have to have all my shit.
dude, that's fine. That's what I'm asking. Marb, fully loaded.
Cal, how's your guess what is this? Stealth? Are you pretty stealthy as well?
Actually, given that I know, I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
activate Armor Vagathus, by the way, because it lasts for an hour. So I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm going fire mode on my Armor Vagathus.
Alright. Let me. Okay. So yeah, as you're kind of listening to Marb talking to Cal, like, you ready for some stealth? You ready to go sneaky?
Oh shit! I'm gonna be like lit up now, aren't I?
Yeah, you kind of, and you guys kind
You
of
can enhance ability.
you sense like you feel it. You don't feel the heat, right? But you kind of just, it catches your eyes for a moment, and you just see as like this fire just kind of spreads from Davis's core and covers his entire essence, and then you know how when fire is so faint that it's like almost invisible and you can't really see it, it kind of fades to that.
With like little licks of flame every once in a
Yeah,
while.
barely. Just
Davis,
not,
what did
like,
you just?
illuminated or anything.
What did you just do, Davis?
Oh, you've seen this before.
Fire.
You've both seen this before. But yeah, no, it's like, you know, if we're getting into a scrap, I just want to make sure I'm ready to go.
All right.
Can I cast Cat's Grace on Davis?
Sure.
It's like, oh man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that Dex?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Stealth is Dex.
Stealth
Yeah.
is Dex.
Go ahead and mark a second level spell slot, Marb, and you're concentrating on Cat's Grace.
Yes.
So Davis, that'll just cancel out your disadvantage.
Which actually is kind of worse for me. Because now I can't flip it.
No,
Although we changed that. That's right.
It's not a flip anymore. So you're good. So yeah, any other prep or discussions that you want to go do?
I mean, when we get there, Marb,
I'll let them know that, yeah, their backs are facing us, so let's try to approach like a stealthy and like knock them out as fast as we can, or just like threaten them in the back and take it as quietly as possible. Gag them, tie them up, and question them as politely as possible.
Okay. So you guys go ahead and you have this little conversation, you know, off the side a little bit of the Bronze Hook, and you've seen some patrons walk in and walk out. Go ahead and all of you roll me stealth checks.
And mine would normally be an advantage, except for my armor makes me a disadvantage, so it's a straight check.
Yep.
Okay, 16 actually.
And Marb, you get your benefits for being on your favorite terrain. Nice. So 18, 16, 16. All right, I actually do need to roll. But as you guys kind of continue heading, you follow Marb as he leads the way down the same side alley. Okay. And you hear, you know, the sounds of a busy establishment. Not super busy, but you still hear the music. You hear the patrons inside of it drinking, eating, laughing. And then you get kind of to the point where, Marb, you're about 30, 20 feet away from that corner where you heard those two individuals.
Okay, I try to do like hand signals, like, and whisper as mega quietly as possible, like, it's gonna be around the corner. And I can tell, like,
I'll like point at myself, point at Calisor, like who's going? What?
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Cal and me kind of in the front. I'll take the one on the left, the one on the right, and then Davis is ready to whack them if they get out of line or try to jump.
I'll give them thumbs up.
Do it as like quietly as possible, and then just like signal to go around the corner.
All right. Calisor. Actually, checking your passives. Passive 14, passive 18, and Marb is passive. Yeah, just Calisor. You would pick up. You're kind of listening to Marb and listening. It's quiet. You don't hear anything, but the plan is to jump around the corner. Did I cut out? Hello?
Nope, we heard you the whole time.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give Marb a nod and stealthily move around the corner.
So as the two of you, I guess it's Marb and Cal first, followed up by Davis. Is that the marching order?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm waiting to see what happens when they do it.
Yeah, so as Cal and Marb shift and kind of leap out, essentially, there's nothing before you guys. It's at the back of the alley. There's the smashed bottles. There's no people standing out there. Marv and Cal, you see that there were footprints, but they're not back there.
Can I tell which direction the footprints went? Did they go inside? Did they just travel on down in a way?
They went back inside towards the back.
Okay.
Ooh, perfect.
So
I guess I look at Cal and try to see if Davis is looking, and I tell him to like we can approach and now it's like, what do we want to do? We want to try to lure one out, or go in and try to take them both. There might be more inside, but we can at least narrow where they're coming from the door, so we can like try to fish one out, make it sound nose outside.
So, I mean, I could turn into a cat or a dog and start like barking at this back door and see if they come to it, and then you could try and grab them.
Ooh.
Or y'all could even like let me inside as a cat, and I could just go and look around and see if Harley's even in there. I don't think they would probably notice a rat as out of the ordinary.
Wow, let's do that. How tall is the... No. Yeah, yeah, you can do... Is there a second story to this building?
Not so much. It's one of the more solidly built establishments here. It is mostly wood and some, sheets of metal. But it does look like it's a proper rectangular-like building with, from the sounds of it, a proper, preparation hall, be it for like food and beverages. Kind of casing the joint. There has to be a couple extra rooms in there based on just like the size of the location. One is probably storage. But you gather that there's probably like one or two extra rooms, probably offices of some sort. And then, that's essentially what you know. Like you've kind of only really seen the front, let's call it 2/3 of this establishment, where the other, 1/3 is kitchen space and possibly offices and stuff.
Okay, then perfect. Like red plan should cover like the kitchen, and we'll know better count of how many people are there. Davis and I can wait out here to make sure not more people are coming. And yeah, let's go with that plan. Cal, do you mind turning into a rat? And
Not at all.
Mommy, I need to learn that trick too.
Alright, so you should have control of your token, Cal, if you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
slide over.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, look at that.
So where he shrinks down into a proper teeny tiny little rat. And easy enough, you kind of sniff along the side, and then you do find a big enough hole, the size of maybe a modern day quarter. You can slip your way in, and you have made your way into one of the, between the walls of one
And
building.
I would also have seen Harley the night that I was there, correct? So I would know what he would look like.
Yeah, he brought us our drinks, I think.
Yeah.
Or
He's
brought
the
out
one
the
carrying
giant, whatever.
the guzzling giants.
Giants.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So you would at least recognize him.
Right.
Nice thing about being a druid and wild shaping, you keep your mental faculties.
Yeah.
So I guess I need to see if there's any special stats on a rat. I don't really remember, but keen smell maybe or something like that. Yeah, keen smell. Okay. So yeah, you does your rat look anything special? Is it just a?
It would
I don't
probably just be kind of like a silvery rat. And I would since it does have smell, I would sniff around the area and try and get the scent of the two dudes who were out there talking before going in, so I'd maybe recognize them by scent as well.
Sure.
If they're inside.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that perception check at advantage. Oh, nice. Natural 19. Jeez. Okay.
And a 1.
27 total. You do pick out, and it basically smells like two oily, not necessarily the cleanest people. You do get a particular, actually with a 19, oh geez, you actually pick up on a little bit of sewer funk coming from perhaps their shoes or their clothes. And you definitely pick up a hefty sense of just cheap, ale. But you can pick it up and you comfortably, again, find your little hole, squeeze in, and you're kind of, the boards would be, you're kind of running along, and then you see there's some cracks, and there's one big enough, and you kind of slip out, and you are essentially in an active kitchen, the food prep area. I mean, it not like a modern day, but there's a proper hearth, and there's a cauldron over it, and there's some hot rocks off to the side that they seem to be rotating through the fires and putting out, and they're using them as a cooking surface. And the back, you see a collection of different employees, but definitely more than half are halflings. And they're getting, food orders out and beverage orders made. And then you continue following that little scent trail running along the side. Go ahead and how are you traveling? Are you traveling quick? Are you traveling cautiously?
I mean, quick-ish, but I'd be trying to stay under shelves if there's shelves I can go under close to the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check at disadvantage since you're favoring speed over caution.
What did you pull up the rat page? I didn't pull up. Did it have
Dex
any?
is plus 0.
Your dex is a plus 0.
0. Okay, so just
you are proficient in stealth though as yourself, so you can
add that.
Yep.
Okay. So at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Little rat doing sneaky skills.
But it would be plus 3, not 5, right? So
Yes.
The 14. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, busy kitchen. Well, not busy, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. You seem to.
They don't give a shit. They see rats there all the time.
Start chasing you with the cleaver.
The rats look stealth.
Yeah. You manage to go, and you're following the trail, stopping, catching it, and keep going. Yeah. You. I guess you manage to, if you wish, you can continue out of the kitchen, or you could try running into one of the holes on the side of the wall and see where it leads, possibly another room. Your call. We basically have a few.
Where does running out of the room take me into the main hall?
as far as you know, you could, having been there before, you would think that it would kind of lead you to that part where the next to the bar where the beverages would be made, and there's that common walkthrough, and then it would open up into the main area essentially. So kind of like the kitchen runs like basically like the door or the lack thereof, right? It's just kind of like dangling beads. Comes into the back of the bar, and the bar area then is just immediately next to the dining area.
Okay, I'd probably like go into the walls and just quickly try and see if there's another room, if there's Harleys in it or the people that I smell. Just like kind of peek in and peek into other rooms if I can.
Gotcha. So you kind of run along the wall, and then you kind of are like running, kind of putting your paws up, trying to find, and then you kind of find a looser part and just big enough hole, you squeeze through, and you run, and you kind of meander back and forth along the wall in the between, and you find a exit point, and you come out, and you are in a storage room. It's dark. There's no lights in here. You don't have dark vision as a rat. You're kind of relying on just whatever light is coming in from the stars and the moon outside. But you smell grains, you smell dried meats, you smell like preserved fruits and ales and stuff like that back here. Actually, go ahead and give me another perception check. Roll me it at advantage. One will be based off your sight, and one will be essentially roll it twice. The lower will be I know what I'm going to do with it. Don't worry.
Nice.
Okay. Wow. Very well. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
This is like super rat here. Funny enough, as fucking Grant takes my joy away, you smell the all too familiar scent of metal. Coin, silver, gold, dirt.
Okay, I would assume that I probably know like what Marb's purses had looked like, that he kept the money in from seeing him stash it that night, and so I would try and like sniff over to them and see if it like looks like it's one of his purses that was probably stolen.
Oddly enough, you get the scent of those individuals walking, the two that you smelled outside, but you do not necessarily. It's again, even with your sight, you really can't see much, right? It's still dark in here, and you can kind of feel, and you're looking around at the sense, and the amount of coinage that you're smelling is not like a small amount, and you're following it in your nose, and you're running into like different, like you thud into like a bag, and it's big, and it's like a burlap style bag, and then you run into like a barrel, and you can smell it there and everything. It seems like maybe this is where they hold some of their savings, their stash. I don't know. You don't necessarily find marks per se.
Okay. I'll go ahead and leave the room, go back to the kitchen, and then peek out into the next room.
Okay. Real quick, we'll jump as you're running, back into the wall, skirting. Marb and Davis, what are you guys doing outside?
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty spry, so I'm gonna just. I feel very dexy. So anything? Can I like climb? Is there like something I can climb on?
There's
Like I feel like I want to jump off of something.
There's definitely a few like boxes and.
Can I get on the roof?
I mean, you're tall and you can reach. You're probably.
I want to jump off the roof of something.
I mean, you're strong enough. So yeah, if you can find a collection of crates or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Nearest roof I can get on, I'm just gonna climb and jump off.
All right, go ahead. Easy enough. I'm not even gonna make you do an athletics check to climb your way up.
Yeah.
You managed to, and now you are on essentially the roof
Of the bronze hook.
Of the bronze hook, or like
Nice.
the lower portion of it. Like it's not necessarily like your traditional like peak like this, but there is where it kind of has a gradient kind of going up, and then it's flat on the top. But you're kind of on the slightly droopy lower portion.
I'm doing a flip off of it.
All right, go ahead and give me an acrobatics check at advantage.
Oh yeah, because it's Dex. Nice.
Yeah.
You say acrobatics 16.
16. It's not necessarily the most quiet land. Oh no, you have Cat's Grace.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
can
I'm
put,
doing
like,
it.
20 feet tall. Okay.
Even if I
Yeah.
landed on my face, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, so Marb, you kind of see Davis do this, and you're kind of watching him, and you're like, "What is he doing? What is he doing?" And you just see him like grin at you, and then jump. And
I
for
have
as
my glaive
large,
in hand, by the way, while I'm doing all of
yeah,
this.
so for as large as an individual as he is, and you know, the landing is
Oh yeah, quiet as could be.
Tala. I like clap, like the polite, like golf clap, and like nod my head, like impressive.
Thanks.
And then
And I was
as
like,
you're
that's you,
Remember
man.
those moves next time in battle.
as you're clapping, you hear
Who's? Yeah, absolutely. Who we're looking at? Who's clapping?
the large Goliath has been sitting there, kind of watching y'all.
But, yeah, I'll just
Like,
point to him and be like, this guy knows what's up.
Not bad, not bad. Birdman, you here to see the boss, right?
I'm here for my money if the boss has it. Maybe he can keep all his fingers.
I
Is he
mean,
in tonight? Big fella.
oh yeah,
Can I look him up and down?
he's as you look him up and down, Marb, he's almost two of you in height. Like not quite, but you look at him, you're like, that's a big guy. He's bigger than Davis. He stands
He's got at least a foot on me, I think.
At least a foot, maybe more.
That just means his Achilles tendon is closer to me down here on the ground. Swing. He can't walk for the rest of his life.
Yeah. He's got the very traditional, like gray tone skin of a Goliath. Smooth, like there's no hair, no eyebrows, no facial hair, no hair. Traditional style tattoos, running just two thick bands kind of running from his eyebrows back down, kind of swirling down the sides of his neck, and then you can imagine kind of traveling down his shoulders, and then you see at the end of his arm it seems to continue down to the ends of his wrist. He says, So
I point towards the door and tell him, like, come on, you lead the way. You're going to take me to your boss.
yeah, let's through the front. I don't fit very well in the kitchen. Low roof. Come with me. And he just turns and starts walking.
I'll start following even before Marb makes a decision.
Bananas. No, we probably want to wait for Cal. Okay, let's follow him.
I'll say if you see a friend of ours, he's purple skin, a little bit shorter than me. Just tell him we went inside.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but
He's probably gonna be looking for us.
Gotcha. Has he got a name?
Yeah, it's Gustav.
Gustav.
Got it. All right. So you guys are essentially, follow this large male Goliath, who, is wearing cotton clothing, but it is kind of nicer, right? He's got a vest on, not like necessarily all buttoned up, simple, slacks on. And Davis, as you're walking by him, you see that his arms are definitely as big, if not bigger, than yours.
Man.
Proportionally. And he seems kind of like just like, this is my job. I was set to I was waiting for you guys, and I don't know why you went around the back, but hey, whatever. I got y'all. And he'll kind of be like commenting as you guys are walking. That was a nice flip. It
Thanks.
lands soft.
Yeah, that's
right?
yeah, it's just a trick that I've picked up.
You must weigh a lot less than you look.
Hey, I'm still pretty big. I'm just very graceful, that's all.
Yeah, twinkle toes, right?
No, not right.
No? You're not a dancer? I would have put you as a dancer. Sorry. But hey.
A complete stone face.
Well, follow me. And you guys walk in, and you guys are there, and he's kind of just brings you in. It's the same layout that you've seen, right? There's the tables and stools in the front, and then there's the music and entertainment stage essentially off to the back left-hand corner. The bar is kind of in the center, and then it has that little passageway into where you assume is the food prep and kitchen. So as you guys enter, he'll kind of, with his hand in front of you, kind of point to go that way, and he'll just kind of turn to you guys, watch you guys walk. I'm assuming by him, and then he will, head back towards the front door.
Shall we?
Let's go.
I'll follow you.
As you guys kind of pass the kitchen area,
I want to look, see if I see any mice or rats anywhere.
Yeah, you look around and you don't see any. And then you see, as before you start heading past, you see a little silver mouse poke its head out.
Does it look like the one that went in?
Yeah.
Okay.
He makes eye contact with you. Calisor, you see your friends.
I would.
I just motion and be like, just kind of put head nod in the direction we're going and be like, just follow us, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would just take whatever route would be the sneakiest to follow them to wherever they're going.
Okay. It'll take you. No, I'm not gonna make a bigger roll. It's enough. You go and you're kind of tracing the interior of the wall, and then you do find another outlet, and you kind of spill out into this little corridor, and you see you're maybe about 20 feet behind your friends as they continue walking, and then Marb, as you approach, there is a door that is closed, and you see a silhouette of a figure on the other side through the glass. Kind of like that yellow, like difficult to see through kind of glass.
Frosted kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I kind of like. How quietly can I open the door?
You can give me a sleight of hand check if you wish.
Okay, and can I motion Davis to get in front of the door?
Like as you're opening it?
Like
Yeah.
stepping.
No, not step in, just to like make a shadow near the glass. That
Oh,
looks
I see
like
what you're saying. So you'll like do it from the side, and I'll be like the big guy in front of it. Sure, absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like pretend like we're the.
I'll even puff up my chest and everything.
Gotcha. So as you guys do it, go ahead and give me that sleight of hand check. You don't get any of your favorite terrain explorer stuff. It's just regular. As you kind of go and you're kind of doing it, you feel the door knob turn and open up, and before you see a golden dragonborn figure. Hi, Marb.
Oh,
I'm not
okay,
Marb.
okay.
Oh, yeah. No, you know him.
Looking down at the door, where Marb is kind of like down.
Pop behind Davis with a knife. I was like, oh, okay, we're good. And I put it away. I was like, Mr. Dragonborn, I don't remember your name. I'm so sorry. I think we never exchanged our names. I just gave you a feather.
Yeah, you can see he's holding the feather, and then he kind of parts it, and he's got two.
Ooh, spooky.
Come in.
He says, and I'm guessing there's chairs for all of us.
I'll actually look confused as to whether or not I'm supposed to go in. And I'll just like non-verbally just be like, dude,
he'll say, "Your friend is welcome."
I introduce them.
Alright,
Isos, right? This is Davis.
I'll give him a
100%
very
reliable,
strong handshake as much as I can.
Good guy. All around.
You give him a very strong handshake, and you can kind of see that he goes, "This isn't a competition."
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Don't know my own strength sometimes.
There you go, and y'all see this
Cool.
dragonborn thing. I'll make it bigger so you can see him a little bit bigger. But he, as of a golden variety, has very dark scalings running down his neck, and seemingly, you imagine would cover his torso. He does have a scar on the top and the bottom of one side of his lip. Fiery red.
I will,
cold eyes.
as I'm going in though, I will make sure that Calisor has a way of getting in, like can slip in before I close the door.
Yeah, Calisor is sneaking in. Calisor, you make it in, no problem. Throughout the whole exchange. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and jump to Al, Roque, Grant, Dregnar, as they are all convening now back at, essentially at the Adventurers League, as Roque is running out there trying to look for friends. Grant and Dregnar, you have been back at the Adventurers League for some time. Perhaps getting a late night meal or just, continuing discussions with Wiggs and Seb on the first floor. As it has gone pretty late and there are not very many individuals here. There are the constant presence of a few patrolling adventurers that seem to have been, for lack of a better term, enlisted to be a 24-hour guard at the Adventurers League since it had just been recently attacked. But is there anything that the four of you would like to do, or the two of you, before you run into Roque, who runs out searching for you guys?
I just wanted to present the little scrawlings and shit to Roque and Al.
Okay. So I guess I should say, Dregnar, was there anything you wanted to do in the couple of hours you would have had between?
No, just trying to relax. Still kind of beat.
Sorry about that, guys.
Did you go airplane mode again?
Yeah, punch up the airplane button. It's amazing. He steps on every other button that he doesn't. That's okay to step on, but he always gets airplane mode. Sorry, a video started playing.
That's okay.
Golden Girls. Okay, there we go. So, Dregnar, was there anything you want to do in the roughly 2 hours that you and Grant had as you came back and Al and Roque were still studying?
No, just kind of relax and still kind of beat.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, with that, Roque, you and Al have kind of reached the end of your study session. And you run out, hobbling, you're not hobbling, but, not at a full sprint, but you run out, head down the second floor, look around, don't see anything, you keep heading down, and in the first floor you see at a table closest to the receptionist desk, Wiggs, Seb, Dregnar, Grant, sitting, relaxing, seemingly having had some water or some, Seb, Wiggs is drinking what seems to be a hot beverage of some sort.
Okay, yeah, I'd run up to them and I would just full on start rambling. Like, guys, we've got this all figured out now. I know what we gotta do. We gotta go to the tower. There's no more Hags there, but there's still Hags in town, so we gotta come back quick, and I can get us to the tower. And Wiggs, I'm gonna need one of your guys to come with us on the way to check out the mills, and we have to find everybody else, but we have to stay in town for a couple days, so we're ready to go. And we just full on, I got it, guys. Where's everybody else?
As you're continuing to Grant just grabs one of the teas and just starts handing it slowly towards you, Roque.
Is it? You said tea, so it's hot.
Yeah.
So I'll take a big swig and then spray it up and be like, "That's hot. Why is it hot?" I'll put it down and be like, "Guys,
tea is usually hot.
We've discovered it. We know what to do."
Seb will just kind of look at you, Grant, and be like, I see why you travel with him. So he's a handful, isn't he?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. You said you figured it all out?
Well, I mean, not me. Me and Al and everyone else. We were reading and we've read, and now it all makes sense. All of the Hags in the swamp are dead. We need to go to the swamp and shut down the tower. But also, we know how to find which mills are bad. But then we don't really know who the people in the mills have had, so that part's not really clear. But at least we can find the mills, so that's up to you guys. So when we get back, we'll deal with the mills. But first, we got to go to the tower. And where is everybody?
I'm gonna say I made it down the stairs. I'm gonna slowly walk up to Roque, just smile and let him talk.
I just picture you kind of nodding in agreement with everything he's saying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's covered everything.
Waiting for him to mess up and he doesn't. You're like,
We're like, Riggs, we need one of your guys to come with us to the first mill because we know which mill to go to. But then we're gonna keep going, and your guy's gonna know what to do with the other mills. And we need everybody else. Seriously, where is everybody else?
if I'm not mistaken, I believe the three other companions of yours were going to go break some knees and stab somebody.
Oh, nice.
That's just some euphemism.
The bar, the place, the drinking, and I go off.
Yeah. Great. Like Seb and Wiggs just kind of look at each other, shrug. So, Al, was it? Since it looks like you and Roque had figured a lot of things out, Grant and I, and this is Wiggs speaking, were able to get a bunch of presses of glyphs and stuff that we saw in the below the well, and they kind of start spreading them out on the table. And Al, these are familiar. You've seen them before. One, you kind of noticed that you noticed them during the encounter. They were vibrant with energy, but it slipped your mind in all the commotion as you had the detect magic going. But you've also seen very similar style, I would say, right? Though in the notes they're much more smooth and elegant, where these are like rough and like basically like ripped out of the stone, right? Like carved, and not even delicately. But they do look relatively familiar.
Definitely seen stuff like this in the scrawlings. I think even... You said this was in the well?
Yeah, it looked like it was carved into the stone. It's where Dregnar said he ripped through the bleed, the tear, the rift, whatever you want to call it.
So they're able to... the hags are able to create portals, but they need the runes.
Well, you can go ahead and give me an Arcana check if you want. You know what? I'll say you can have an advantage because Wiggs is assisting you. Okay. Yeah, he'll kind of, as you say, like they need him like to open it and keep it. He's like it seems to be that they're either used to indicate weaknesses or like where the fabric is thin. I don't know, or maybe it's to help them sustain it. But as far as I could tell, it was completely closed by the time we got there. Oh, and Seb, we need to make sure that we set up a regular rock guard presence down there, and maybe have some more people go and research, or at least keep an eye. And we destroyed the glyphs just to make sure that they couldn't use it again. Hopefully.
I'm gonna break out the scrawlings. You said where it's thin?
The best I could get from it is,
It rings a bell.
They don't seem to be able to. There's not every inhabitant is able to just cross over, right? Planes are difficult. Planes are not. If you're not from a plane, it's kind of hard to get to a plane. Hags seem to have the ability to just do it at will, as those spiders that attacked us and those strange lizard creatures. But Dregnar's body can attest to the strain and the force that it takes to actually make oneself cross over. Right through here. There you go.
I think I
So-
wrote a bit about this in the scrawlings. Wait,
Oh.
here. Here's the line. Okay. Okay, they're using wild energies. Saturation of the energies will weaken the boundaries between the narrowscape and the ethereal here between. So that's what so the energy does make that thin, and I guess they just find those spots and have to put the portals there.
That's as good a guess as any.
I don't know if we have a way to track where it's thin though.
I
But at
mean,
least there's some hot spots that they might be targeting.
you just kind of see Seb just kind of put one of his hands on the table and be like, there's a big old grin on his face, and it'll just be like, Wiggs, time to work your magic. Go research, do your thing. I'll make sure no one bothers you. And you just kind of see Wiggs, like almost like a like kind of taking like hitting the head. He's like, yeah, I know. I'll be in my room.
He can do stuff like that?
Wiggs is one of the smartest people probably in the entire. Well, Wiggs, yeah, I'll give you a compliment. He's probably one of the smartest people in the entire continent.
Oh shit.
Half of the crazy concoctions that you see around town are partially his design.
Oof. That explains a lot. I didn't realize. Oh. I might have to ask him some questions later after he's done with whatever's gonna come out of this.
Seb will like grin and be like, hey, well, I'll give you guys a treat. There's no one down here, right? He kind of looks around. It's like, Wiggs, go upstairs the other way. And he just smiles, and you see Wiggs kind of shrug, and he goes underneath the staircase, and you're kind of like watching him, and then he taps on one of the boards, and then a little compartment opens, and he pulls a lever, and then you just see like the stone wall just kind of, and he walks through.
He's got a secret passage.
He's got a dope
Guys, all
secret
Marb about
room.
this. Marb
He's
loves
fucking Bruce Wayne.
He's like, and then Seb will just smile because he feels like he can trust you guys. Like, listen, there's a lot of secret tunnels and rooms in this building. You earned a little sneak peek into one of them because, well, Mavori and Meeker recommended y'all.
I was grinning ear to ear at all this. Oh.
Yeah, if you guys want to, you guys can remember there is a secret passage underneath the staircase.
Excellent. Is there a sliding pole that we can use? I don't know.
Oh, like to go
Is it just stairs, or is it?
You Grant, as you do, you look, and it is a very tight spiral case that goes down, and then it kind of hits you that there's an entire floor, maybe multiple floors below y'all as well.
Does this building connect to the sewers directly, Seb?
Not directly. There would be. Actually, no, not directly. We've kind of found a plot where there was no sewer tunnels. We figured it was, we didn't want unsavories finding their way here. Underbelly and such. I love how you're so obsessed with that. He's
No,
like,
that's about it.
yeah. You've seen that, it's interesting because,
No, why?
yeah. But yeah, no, just with so Dregnar, and it's actually kind of convenient that y'all are both together. Dregnar with your stone cunning, and then Grant with your masonry background. It's kind of dope. It's really cool to see this, and now that you've approached this place a few times and you kind of see it, when you approach it, it is basically like on a stone slab, or like, cement-like slab raised up a bit that you take stairs to get into this floor. So that means that down below, it seems to be possibly just a solid structure down below. And you don't know how many floors there are, but there's potential for multiple floors. And like everything up here is just for common show.
Seb, did you build this? Were you involved in the building of this building?
Yeah, me, Meeker, Navori, Wiggs.
Did Wiggs design this?
He had some help. We got some other friends around. Wiggs and I were the only two that stayed around here.
I see.
But hey, I like you guys. You remind me of my younger days. You normally don't see such large groups sticking together. You hear, it typically is like an adventurer or two, maybe 3 or 4, and that's a large group. But to see such a close group of size, I like it. It reminds me of 20 years ago. So, Dregnar, Al, Grant, anything?
So are they all in the secret passage?
Yeah, they were all. Well, they all saw it, but Wiggs was the only one that headed down.
Hey, real quick, guys, if we ever get like a fort or something, lots of secret passages. Lots of them.
Hey, Al, we're not leaving tonight, are we?
No. Roque and I were thinking about it, and I think, especially with Davis, all of us really, we need some time to rest and over-prepare if possible, because he wants to get to the tower. I agreed with him. We don't know what lies ahead there.
You read my mind. I go upstairs and go to sleep. I'm tired.
Have a good one.
Yeah, Dregnar been up for 4 or 5 hours, goes right back to sleep. It's been a rough day. So, if there's anything else you guys want to do in the Adventures League, let me know. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and jump to the Bronze Hook. We'll probably take a break, let people get a drink and everything, and then we'll go back to the Bronze Hook.
I think I'll continue. I'll let Grant know. Hey, I'm gonna go make sure Roque doesn't get into too much trouble. I'm gonna go follow him some more.
Oh, geez, did he go?
Is that Bronze Hook, right?
Yeah, Bronze Hook.
Okay, yeah, I think you're trying to find the rest of the group. Let them know. Yeah, 2 nights in a we gotta keep the party coherent to some extent. Surprised we survived that last meeting.
Okay.
Well, have a good night. I'm gonna go hunt him down. And I'll pick up all my scrolls and run out the door.
Right, we'll quietly sip tea at the table. Everyone else kind of gets up and departs. He's just sitting there by himself with the cup of tea.
All right. Trying to think if there's anything. No, Grant, you honestly basically have the empty hall to yourself as you have time to reflect, focus on whatever comes to mind. It's quiet. You see every once in a while, you'll see the patrol, walk through. But other than that, there's no one at the reception desk. The mess hall is, quiet. At this point, it'll probably be closer to midnight. It seems to be that perhaps the hours of operation or hours of activity have been sort of reduced here, because it doesn't seem to actually like the Adventures League ever closes. But it seems with recent activities that maybe they have active hours lessened.
He probably just hold the 11-pointed symbol, Judith's Amara's mom's
Mhm.
holy symbol in his hand.
Mhm.
Just stares at it and just kind of wonders to himself, Lawbearer, which direction should we go? Just kind of stares at it. Does it rotate like a compass in his hand, or does it just sit flat?
So you kind of have it like out in your palm, I guess I should
Yeah.
say. So as you have it, the way that it's attached to the chain, the central point, right, of the 11th would point towards you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other 10 arms of the star there. And it just sits there. And you're waiting for it to do something. You're waiting for some sort of sign. And unfortunately, after, a good 5 minutes of contemplation and staring, it's just a piece of metal on a chain that has some sort of significance, but it's just there.
He just puts it back down, sips on his tea. Why would I expect things to be different now?
Yeah. Gotcha. So let's go ahead and take a little break. We'll jump back to Marb, Davis, and currently the rat, as they are in discussions with Essos.